Stephen Craigan will bring us all the news from St Mirren against Ross County. Jane Lewis will do the same from Falkirk's home match with Morton in the Championship. But our first commentary of the day comes from Perth. It's St Johnstone against Hearts with Derek Ferguson and Ian Auld.
Thank you, Kenny. Good afternoon and welcome to McDermott Park, where two of the newest Premiership managers go head-to-head. Simo Valokari takes his position in the home dugout for the first time. The Finn did guide the club to a Tayside derby in his first match in charge last Saturday, but the new manager bounced deflated on Wednesday, losing in Paisley to St Mirren. Neil Critchley has had his own bounce as the Jambos boss, beating St Mirren, Ammonia Nicosia, and earning a late draw in the Edinburgh derby last Sunday. But the men in maroon were beaten by Kilmarnock, falling back to the bottom of the league table in the process. Both sides are out, changes galore for both managers. Simo Valakari makes two changes to his side. In comes Barry Douglas for his first start as a St Johnstone player. So too does Graham Kerry join the starting 11. St Johnstone go with Sinclair, a back four of Wright, Sanders, Cameron and Douglas. A midfield three of Carey, Sprangler, Holt, with Nicky Clark in behind Sidibe and Kimpioka. Three changes for Hearts. In come Beningame, Oyegoke and Danda in place of Devlin, Forrester and Vargas. They go with Gordon in goals, a back four of Oyegoke, Kent, Rose and Penrice. Beningame and Boateng in front of them, and a three of Forrest, Spittle and Danda in behind Lawrence Shankland, who has the match ball on the centre spot as we await the go-ahead from the referee, Chris Graham. He's assisted by Paul McIntyre and Craig McRae, and the fourth official for this one is Duncan Williams, with Alan Muir on VAR duties. Hearts to get us underway here at McDermott Park. Conditions pretty much perfect for early November. Hearts will get us underway. St Johnstone, the home side, in their home colours of blue and white. We'll go left to right as we occupy our seats high up in the main stand here at McDermott Park, and Hearts will go from right to left in the maroon and white. And it's Frankie Kent with the early touch for the Jambos as he fires the ball down the right hand side, looking for Lawrence Shankland, who has his arms in the air, protesting with the far side linesman as the throw-in goes against his side. St Johnstone have the early throw-in. Alongside me for this one, former Hearts midfielder Derek Ferguson. Derek, you watched Hearts on Wednesday. What are you expecting from this one?
Well, already seen a little bit of a difference from Hearts. As soon as they get possession of the ball, the first thought was fire it forward. You know, the other night against Kilmarnock at home, you know, they certainly looked to build from the back through the lines, but as you see, they're going to try and put St Johnstone under a little bit more pressure early doors.
Yeah, St Johnstone winning the free kick deep inside their own half. Droy Wright going to ground under the challenge of Jan Danda, and gives the thumbs up to the goalkeeper Ross Sinclair, who will come out and take, all in the lime green goalkeeping outfit this afternoon. The 176th meeting of these two clubs. Hearts with the superior record over St Johnstone. They've also had the Saints number of late. Hearts went 12 years without a victory here at McDermott Park between 2010 and 2022. And in their last three visits, Hearts are unbeaten against the Saints. Was a tricky place to come. They've made things better on their travels, and Neil Critchley will be looking for his men to extend that recent record. St Johnstone have possession near side with Carey. Flicks the ball forward for Adama Sidibe. Kai Rose heads on. St Johnstone have possession back as James Penrice wins it down near side. Under pressure from the St Johnstone captain Nicky Clark as Malachi Boateng gets involved in the midfield. Benny Beningame sprays it out to Daniel Oyegoke. He crosses the halfway line. He's got support with Wednesday's goal scorer Alan Forrest, who cuts inside, finds Blair Spittle. Spittle rolls it out to James Penrice. Hearts come down the left hand side now as Danda takes over, takes aim with the cross, looking for Shankland, all the way into the gloves of Ross Sinclair.
Yeah, it was a good passage of play from Hearts, certainly down this left hand side. Work it away over to right hand side. What you expect of them, you know, keeping possession of the ball, and but as soon as Danda picks up, you know, I think it's a decent delivery. You know, just Shankland getting under it a little bit, maybe just kind of hang out a little bit. Time he's run into the box, just thought he was in a little bit too early, but certainly a positive start from Hearts, you know, looking to get the ball forward as early as possible.
Here's Carey for St Johnstone. Now Holt on the halfway line, out to the left hand side for Barry Douglas. First touch of the afternoon for him as he fires in the low cross, away by Beningame on the edge of his 18-yard box. Now Hearts have possession with Shankland midway through his own half, out to Danda down this left hand side. Danda rolls it back to summer signing James Penrice, who takes aim. Wonderful cross field ball from Penrice, just too much on it for Alan Forrest over on the right.
Yeah, it's the right idea, you know. Forrest, you know, get chalk on his boots over there, you know, so that the switch was on. I just think Forrest, you know, caught a little bit on his heels, shall we say, but you know, it was a good idea.
Simo Valakari perched on the edge of his technical area. First home match in charge as St Johnstone manager. He had to wait a while in the director's boxes until he was given the go-ahead to take over in the dugout. Did so last week in the 2-1 win over Dundee in the Tayside Derby. Hearts have a free kick. Jan Danda going to ground. Chris Graham happy enough that Jan Danda is okay to continue, and he springs back onto his feet. And Hearts have a free kick down this left hand side midway through the St Johnstone half. James Penrice and Jan Danda are over it. It'll be Danda to take. In fact, he dummies and leaves for Penrice. Swung in with the left by Penrice. Kai Rouse is at the back post and heads on, but out comes Ross Sinclair leaping into the air on his 6-yard line to make the save.
Yeah, it's a good start from Hearts, you know. You know, they've got that free kick there away the left hand side. Yeah, they do put the ball into the box, but it all comes from Spittal, you know, the press, not allowing that St Johnstone back four any time on the ball. You know, they've just got to pick and choose their moments, and they've done it pretty well early on in this game, Hearts.
Sinclair to Kyle Cameron, one of Craig Levine's signings, out to Barry Douglas on the far side. A new arrival as Malachi Boateng steams into Jason Holt. No free kick, says Chris Graham. In fact, he now has given the free kick, but it's gone the way of Hearts as Malachi Boateng got a receipt for his foul on Jason Holt.
Yeah, it's a brilliant play from Boateng. He senses the danger that St Johnstone are trying to find Nicky Clark, just in those little pockets of space. Boateng, he's on to him as quick as, you know, breaks up play, tries to get Hearts going. Then there's a few little kind of niggly fouls, but you know, certainly Hearts first five or 6 minutes started the better.
Hearts have another free kick, a few yards forward than the challenge on Boateng. Benny Beningame going to ground. Jan Danda is over it. This is dead centre in the St Johnstone half. Out to Penrice, swung in from Penrice all the way to the back post. Alan Forrest looking to pounce. He was shaping to volley it, but Jason Holt was there to turn it behind for the first corner of the afternoon. Yeah,
and St Johnstone get away with one there, you know. I mean, Danda, he's standing on the ball, he's 40 yards from goal, he's pretty central, so you're thinking, you know, it's maybe not on to put the ball into the box, but Penrice standing acres of space, simple pass out. Penrice so obviously gets the ball into the box, creates a little bit of havoc there, so St Johnstone caught sleeping there.
Hearts corner over on the far side. In from Penrice, into the 6-yard box it comes, away by Douglas. Ross Sinclair, the goalie, was charging out to punch clear, but Hearts still have it. And again from Penrice, all the way towards the back post, and Frankie Kent just unable to get anything on it. It went way past the Hearts centre half and behind for a goal kick.
That's about 4 or 5 balls into the box, just looking for a little bit more quality if you're a Hearts supporter, but I mean, if St Johnstone keep allowing that to happen, there's only going to be one outcome, so they've got to stop that at source. Hearts getting too many balls into the box.
Graham Carey on the halfway line, one of 2 changes from Wednesday's defeat in Paisley. Switches the play and finds Barry Douglas, but he comes in field and only finds Benny Beningame, who's recovered from illness to make this one. He's been out for a few games actually, and Daniel Oyekoke gets going on the right hand side, crosses the halfway line. Midway through the St Johnstone half is Blair Spittle making his way towards the 18-yard box, stopped by a combination of Cameron and Carey, and Carey takes the touch and plays the ball forward to Benjamin Kimpioka. joint top scorer in the Premiership this season so far. Kimpioka with 5 goals to his name, alongside Papi Gaye. Of course, he started the season on fire, out through injury for Aberdeen. I'm sure Aberdeen would love to have Papi Gaye available for them at Hampden this afternoon. That's our second commentary match of the day. Celtic versus Aberdeen in the first of the League Cup semi-finals at Hampden at 5:30. Meantime, here in Perth, St Johnstone 0, Hearts 0, 8 minutes on the clock. Live on Sportsound, BBC Radio Scotland, across the frequencies this afternoon, and online at bbc.co.uk/sport/Scotland, and we're on BBC Sounds as well. Carey down the right-hand side, looking for the first-time move of Kimpioka and Sidibe, but it's blocked by Penrice, and St Johnstone have a throw just in front of the home technical area.
Yeah, and I think St Johnstone, you know, they're trying to play through the lines, play their football, but I think every now and again I think they should just go a little bit longer, because I think Boateng, Beningame, you know, they've sussed it out in the middle of the park in terms of Clark, you know, they're stopping that at source. So every now and again I think St Johnstone should just look to go maybe over the top a little bit, just to get the Hearts boys thinking a little bit more, because that ball into Clark, into Carey at times, Boateng and Beningame, they've been excellent so far, you know, in stopping that.
Penrice does well to keep it in play just in front of us down the near side. In comes a cross. Lawrence Shanklin was arriving at the back post, and St Johnstone get it clear, or do they? Sprangler caught by Beningame. Hearts win it back with Forrest, although he goes into the challenge, and somehow the ball ends up back with Craig Gordon 20 yards from the Hearts goal. Yukoki sends the ball forward. Up goes Spittle with the head. Cameron and Douglas eventually combined to send the ball back safely to their goalkeeper. Well, this one's certainly been a lively start, Derek.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at St Johnstone, I get their principles. They want to play, you know, get the ball on the deck, play through the lines. But I think as players out there, you've got to think for yourself sometimes. You know, you look at Kimpioka up there, sometimes he's 1v1, you know, so sometimes just go a little bit longer, you know, and get that Hearts back four turning. Here we go.
Here's Sidibe. Muscled the ball off Frankie Kent, sends it across, looking for Kimpioka, and it bounced off the shin pads of Kimpioka. Nicky Clark was also in attendance, and Hearts get it clear.
Yeah,
I think break.
Yeah, you know, I think it's the wrong choice. He tries to play in Clark. He should try and have a go himself.
Here's Forrest, bursts into the St Johnstone box, hangs up the cross, away by Sanders. Spittle recovers on the edge of the box. Now Shankland heading towards the byline, cuts the ball back. Spittle's on the edge of the box, whips in the cross, too much on it, and it's behind for the goal kick.
That's been the story of Hearts so far. You know, they get themselves into great positions, but their delivery just not quite on the money at the moment. And go back to that opportunity. Sidibe, you know, down that right hand side, I think it's a wonderful ball. I think Kimpioka, I think he's just got to try and help it towards goal. I think he just tries to be a little bit too clever, you know, try to play Clark, who's, you know, up in support. You know, as a forward thinking player, he should be thinking, get that on target. So for me, that's a big chance gone.
Boateng beats Clark on the halfway line. St Johnstone have possession once again with Holt, former Jambo. As Boateng heads on, bit of head tennis from both sides. Now Beningame brings the ball down. He's got Oyekoki on the overlap. So too Forrest over on the far side. Hearts and St Johnstone well advanced in St Johnstone territory as Oyekoki swings it in. Shanklin laid it off, looking for Danda. Penrice recovers and goes for goal, actually. Strikes the chest of Gray Wright, although the scream from the away supporters to our left-hand side was handball. Penrice robs Carey of possession. It was too slack. Now Spittle. Boateng out to Beningame. And it's out to Oyekoki on the right-hand side. He's got Forrest further ahead. Direct ball into the path of Forrest. Now into the box come Hearts with Shankland. Back out to Oyekoki. Swung in with the right boot, and it's all the way towards the goalkeeper's near post, and easily held from Ross Sinclair.
it's a story so far from Hearts. You know, some terrific build-up play, but it's just that final ball. You know, they just can't find it. So as good as they are in possession, they've just got to find that little bit of quality, that final pass or that final cross, and they'll certainly have a better outcome. But what I've got to say is good pace about the game. You know, both sides not going to sit in. You know, certainly if they get the opportunity, they're going to have a go at each other. So it's making for a good open game so far.
Yeah, absolutely. 12 minutes gone, no goals, but both sides having a go. As Oyegoke away over on the right hand side, just marshals the ball behind for a goal kick to Hearts. Haven't seen much of Craig Gordon, all in yellow this afternoon, and he quickly gets Hearts going once again with Penrice down this near side. Blasts the ball forward, taken down by the thigh of Sanders, inside to Sprangler, back out to right down this right hand side, forward by right into Kimpioka. It's reached the edge of the Hearts penalty box as Kimpioka tries the trickery. He's forced back away by Frankie Kent, but still Kimpioka persists. St Johnstone have possession with Holt, who takes over, gets the ball back from Douglas, back inside to Sprangler midway through the Hearts half. Nice combination with Douglas and Holt involved again over on the touchline. Nice 1-2 from Douglas. Holt whips in the cross. Nicky Clark's there. Thought about the first time shot. He was put off by Malachi Boateng, and it's fine for a goal kick.
Yeah, he didn't expect it. You know, he gets himself into a great position, Clark. But wasn't the best of crosses from Holt. But I think Nicky Clark just took the surprise, and that's why he doesn't get the connection. I just looking at that St Johnstone side, I think yeah, play your football, but every now and again, you know, think about what your strengths are, and your strengths are Sidibe and Kimpioka up top. They've got pace to burn, so I think they should be getting the ball forward just a little bit more quickly, if I'm honest.
No goals here in Perth. There has been a goal in Falkirk. Jane Lewis.
Yeah, there has indeed. It's gone to the home side as well. It was a lovely work to free kick. It was Calvin Miller with the ball in. Calvin Miller with the ball in. Inch perfect it was for Caelan Adams to score and put the home side here 1-up after 14 minutes.
Thank you, Jane. Hearts have possession over at the far side corner flag. And far side linesman just took a sore one there as the ball was eventually flicked out. And yeah, unfortunately got caught with a sore one there, but he's okay. He's back up.
Not sore enough, Ian.
Benny Beningame over this one for Hearts over on the far side into Forrest. Hearts managed to keep the ball in play. St Johnstone have possession once again as Cameron goes back home to his goalkeeper. The goalie gives the ball straight away, and it's Benny Beningame who picks it up. Now Spittle, edge of the St Johnstone 18. Boateng, neat ball into Lawrence Shankland, who pulls the trigger. First time shot, and it trickles wide of the left hand post.
That should be 1-0 Hearts. It's a wonderful opportunity for Shankland. You know, the ball's played into him. He's round about the penalty spot, takes a touch with his right, hits with his left on the spin. He should be at least hitting the target. He drags it past that left hand post. So that's a wonderful opportunity for Hearts. And you know, they've been probing, they've had balls into the box, not quite that quality, but chances like that, you've got to be taking them. You know, and you can talk about, yeah, there's a lack of confidence maybe there by Shankland, but you know, normally he's so calm, you know, in those situations, but just thrashes at it, you know, and puts it past that left hand post.
Yeah, you're really expecting the net to bulge when Lawrence Shankland has an opportunity that far out from goal. 1 goal in 15 so far this season. This time last year he'd scored 7 of his 31 goals for Hearts.
Yeah, and that's his strength, that composure, you know, and it was so unlike him there, because as if there was a little bit of a panic, you know, he found himself free, you know, 15 yards from goal roughly, and then he just slashes at it, you know, and puts it past that post. Up until that, you know, I thought there was again an opportunity. Sidibe, you know, was 1v1. I think it was Rogues. You know, the ball was clearly over the top because there was grass to run into, but no, St Johnstone kept playing, and you know, it could have been their own downfall there.
St Johnstone persists down that left hand side as Frankie Kent has Sidibe for company and just pokes the ball behind for a St Johnstone throw-in. The Saints in a hurry to get going, and they take it quickly through Douglas. Gets the ball back from Holt, whipped in by Douglas. It's a good looking cross, away by Kent, and St Johnstone have a free kick. Blatting catching Carey late on the edge of the box, and it's dead centre, 25 or so yards from goal, and this is a real good opportunity.
It certainly is. I'm not too sure it was a foul, but the referee, he's only yards away, he'd no hesitation. But I tell you what, this is a great opportunity for St Johnstone. You know, it can go either way. You know, what is that, 25 yards out, would you say, Ian?
Yeah, just over that. Well, yeah, just 25. Yeah,
slightly to the left-hand side. So there's two or three the players carries there.
Nicky Clark obviously is the one who's grabbed it, and he scored.
I think a few of them fancy this, you know, because it's a great range. It's not too close, not too far out. So you've got a little bit of power, but obviously the accuracy's got to come into it. So certainly worth the keeper.
Nicky Clark goes for goal, and Craig Gordon pushes the ball behind for the corner at full stretch. The Scotland international Nicky Clark, who scored 2 free kicks in Dingwall a few weeks ago, has obviously got his knack. He's got his free kick shooting boots on this afternoon, and had the Scotland number 1 away to his right hand side to make the save.
Yeah, real quality. If there just could be, you know, for nitpicking, just a little bit more pace on the ball. Maybe Gordon doesn't get across, but good free kick. Terrific save.
St Johnstone's first corner. It's a deep one all the way towards the back post, flicked down and headed towards goal. Sprangler got the last touch, and St Johnstone will get another go at it, or will they? No, they won't. Offside.
It's a terrific block there. You know, the ball comes over. I'm not quite sure who hits that, but certainly Penrice gets the block in. So there has been chances, you know, chances for both sides, but again, just that little bit of quality just missing at the moment.
Yeah, 19 and a half minutes gone at McDermott Park, goalless between St Johnstone and Hearts. On Sports Sound, BBC Radio Scotland. And Sprangler looks to send the ball forward. He does well to almost pick out Sidibe. Hearts will definitely have their work cut out for them defensively this afternoon up against Kimpioka and Sidibe. Nicky Clark also buzzing about as well, but it's Hearts have possession with Oyegoki out to Forrest on the right hand side. Checks back in field. Alan Forrest up to the edge of the 18, gets into the box. It's a good challenge from Sprangler to stop him, and St Johnstone will get the chance to counter. They do well, they burst out there, and it's Jason Holt who crosses the halfway line out to Kimpioka on the far side. He's got options ahead of him as Kimpioka makes his way to the edge of the 18. Thought about the first time shot. He's got Frankie Kent for company. Eventually rolls it into the path of Carey, and Graham Carey aiming for the top corner, and that one flew over Craig Gordon's crossbar, but it wasn't far away.
Yeah, again, terrific play from Kimpioka, driving forward. You know, he's looking inside to play the pass. I'm not sure he quite gets the pass that he wants, but it just breaks the Carey, edge of the box on the half volley. A difficult one, difficult technique, but hits it sweet, but just a yard over. But you can sense a goal is coming.
Here's Beringame for Hearts, as Hearts roll it across to Penrice down this left hand side. He's got Danda in company, as Danda checks on the right, swings in the cross, looking for Shanklin, who just evaded Jack Sanders. St Johnstone managed to get it clear. Of course, no Lewis Nielsen for them this afternoon. He's on loan from Hearts. It's been a regular for St Johnstone this season. And his loan move is Spittle, links up with Blatting. He switches the play out to this left-hand side for Penrice. Danda. Overlapping run from Penrice, good cross as well. And Shankland again, the target in the box. Sprangler was there, and it's behind for a Hearts corner.
Yeah, what I was going to say, I think who's been really impressive, maybe they don't catch the eye, but the two sitting midfielders of Hearts, you know, Boateng, Beringame, they're doing an absolutely fantastic job in there. You know, just keeping the ball going, you know, moving it forward. When they sense, you know, any danger, they snuff it out right away. So It's a terrific little tweak that the new manager's brought in.
Spittle's cross all the way towards the back post. The ricochet will fall to Alan Forrest, who goes for goal. And that one again took another deflection. Graham Carey was desperately trying to put Forrest off, and he'd done enough. It deflected off him and behind for a third Hearts corner of the afternoon. Once again, Blair Spittle is over it down this near side. Spittle with the cross, this time near post. Ross Sinclair comes for it, and it's gone into the back of the net. And Hearts from the corner causing havoc, and they have the lead.
Yeah, we've been talking about the quality of the ball into the box. There's no doubt about the quality in that. Spittle down this left-hand side from the corner kick. It's at that front post area. You know, I don't know if there's a little nick on it, but the pace, the accuracy, the keeper was getting absolutely nowhere near it. So, yeah, felt a goal was coming. Probably, yeah, Hearts just shading it at the moment, so deserve that opening goal.
23 minutes on the clock. Hearts strike first at McDermott Park. Blair Spittle being credited with the goal. It came from the corner, and Ross Sinclair came for it. Didn't know an awful lot about it. I'm not sure if there was a deflection at the near post, but it's gone into the back of the net nonetheless. And Blair Spittle, if he is credited with the goal, will become Hearts' top scorer.
Yeah, it's a difficult one for the keeper.
The Premiership this season.
You know, because the pace and the accuracy on the ball, you've got bodies, you know, flooding in there, getting in front of you. So the keeper, you know, I don't think he could have came for it. So I just think it's that quality I keep talking about. You know, that ball into the box. We certainly got that from a corner kick.
St Johnstone then will have to respond without a win in their last three here against Hearts in Perth, and it's been made trickier with Hearts getting the opening goal on 23 minutes. Spittle's corner, we think the last touch just coming off Nicky Clark, outfoxing the goalkeeper. Here's Sidibe, near side, goes up against Rouse, who just gives him that half a yard and eventually stops him, but he's been guilty of the foul, and St Johnstone have the free kick.
It's a silly foul there from Rogues. You know, Sidibe's got away from him, you know, and as he makes the pass, he makes contact. You know, the pass is going AWOL, so they've conceded this free kick. You know, it's a dangerous one as well, because Carey's good from these situations.
Graham Carey is over it. It's midway through the Hearts half. Down this right-hand side, swung in towards the back post. Sidibe's in attendance, and his header bounces down into the ground and into the gloves of Craig Gordon.
And I'll tell you what, if you're a Hearts fan, a Hearts manager, that's a real worry. You know, it's a simple ball into the box. You know, not too much pace, but Sidibe, what is he? 10 yards out, free header, that shouldn't happen. They lost a couple of goals, well, certainly the second goal in Wednesday night, and it was due to, you know, bad marking, not reacting to the ball, so something that Hearts maybe need to work on.
Here is a Hearts defender with Kyle Rawls, and he sends the ball into the corner flag down this near side, but it had too much on it. Jan Danda has a look towards the Australian centre half, and St Johnstone have the free kick. They throw it even down this near side, taken quickly by Dre Wright into Sven Sprangler, into Cameron, out to Douglas. He plays the neat 1-2 with Jason Holt. Now Sprangler once again midway through his own half. He's chased down by the Hearts captain Lawrence Shankland, and it's back to Jack Sanders. Now Cameron once again. Simo Valakari with the arms folded just on the edge of his technical area. Neil Critchley also has his arms folded on the edge of his technical area, but he'll be the happier of the two managers at the moment. His side have the lead. We've played 26 and a half minutes. St Johnstone 0, Hearts 1 on Sportsound BBC Radio Scotland. Heavy touch from Shankland and gives the ball straight to Kimpioka. 20 yards or so from his own goal, but Hearts managed to win the ball back. Now it's Danda down this left hand side. He's got plenty of room to run into, crosses the halfway line to find Spittle. and he's well marshalled by Sanders, but it come off the toe of the St Johnstone centre half and behind for the Hearts corner.
Yeah, I wonder if St Johnstone have maybe learnt their lesson, so they'll need to deal with this, because it's only going one place. You know, that front post area whipped in with good accuracy, I would imagine. You know, certainly pace. So he scored one. Exact same opportunity again. They're not really overloading that area as well, St Johnstone, so we'll see how they deal with this one.
Here's Blair Spittle down this near side once again, goes near post. Jan Danda flicks it on, and the header flashed wide.
Well, they don't learn their lessons, because Danda just wanders in that front post area. You know, maybe that was the ploy with the first one. Maybe you know, maybe Spittle maybe overhit it a little bit, you know, but gets a goal out it. But you know, Danda just ambles in that front post area. Spittle fires it in. It's a lovely little flick on. Somebody should be arriving at that back post area to put that into the back of the net. So St Johnstone, you know, riding their luck a little bit at the moment.
Ross Sinclair with it on the 6-yard box as he gives it out to Cameron now. Sprangler, Sanders, chased down by Spittle, who's really adjusting to life at Tynecastle. He was excellent for Motherwell last season, earned his move to Hearts, and he's slowly but surely becoming a bit of a fan's favourite with the Gorgie faithful.
Oh, he's a terrific football player. I first watched him way back when he was at Queen's Park, and I thought one or two of the bigger teams should have took the opportunity to try and get him on the books, and he's just progressed. Now he's at a big club. It's took him a little bit of time to settle in, but he's certainly done that, and you know, and shown his worth so far.
Here's Carey down this right hand side, linking up well with Drew Wright, who gets beyond Danda, hangs up the cross towards the back post, and the header onto the roof of the net from Jason Holt, and it took a touch of a Hearts jersey, and it's behind for the corner.
Yeah, good play from Wright, you know, bombing forward from that full back area, shapes to cross it. Danda dives in, just checks back, and he curls a lovely little ball to that back post area. A few bodies get in there, but Hearts clear it, but got to deal with a corner kick now from this right hand side.
Left-footed delivery from Carey all the way towards the back post. No takers in Maroon, and it's still eventually bundled home by Cameron, but straight into Craig Gordon. Well, there was a real stramash in that 6-yard box. No one in a Hearts jersey looked like they were confident of winning it, and there was a real scramble, and it was Cameron who flicked it towards goal, but Craig Gordon made the save, and in fact the free kick has gone the way of Hearts.
Yeah, I think what's clear to see, Hearts struggle with balls into the box. You know, anytime there's free kicks, corner kicks, they look really unsure of themselves. I don't even think that's one that Craig Gordon can come for. Too many bodies here, but they've got to be stronger defensively than that. So once you allow a ball to break, you know, it's a bit of a lottery. So again, it's something they've got to work on. You know, they've got to be stronger and better at.
Daniel Oyekoke dances away from Sidibe midway through, but his own half gives the ball to Kyle Rouse, who in turn gives it to Graham Carey, and Danda takes the ball off his toes on the halfway line, and he runs into the shoulder of Sprangler, and Chris Graham on hand to award Hearts the free kick right on the halfway line.
I'll get my sympathies for Sprangler, sorry, there, Danda. You know, he can't get out the way. You know, you're supposed to jump out of the player's pathway. You just stand your ground. I think Danda, he initiated the contact and gets a foul.
Kent out to Oyekoke. It's a long ball, it's a searching ball, and it's found Spittle. Now Forrest, who gets his way into the box and drives the ball along the face, along the deck, and it's turned away for the corner. Well, Spittle with a lovely takedown onto Forrest, and he used all his pace to burst his way into the 18-yard box. But St Johnstone stand firm.
It's brilliant because it doesn't. You don't need to play 12, 15 passes. Sometimes a good long ball, you know, with somebody like Spittle getting forward. Brilliant control, just laying into to Forrest. So little deflection again. Spittle corner kick again.
Spittle down this near side. It's gone back post this time, punched away by Ross Sinclair. Big glove on it from the goalkeeper. And Hearts have the corner this time over on the far side. James Penrice jogs his way over. Hearts switching up corner-wise.
Yeah, the keeper had to come out there again. The delivery is bang on the money. It's terrific from Spittal, putting that St Johnstone defence under real pressure.
Penrice this time with the left foot delivery, goes near post again, away by Barry Douglas. Sidibe is jumping and trying to win the header as St Johnstone tried to win the scraps, and Lawrence Shanklin volleys the ball out towards the right hand side. There's no one really wanting to get on the ball in that midfield at the moment, and it's eventually Oyegoke who finds possession in the right back area for Hearts and sends the ball forward. It's brought down, and eventually Hearts have possession with Beningame. Now Boateng, just inside his own half, rolls the ball out to Alan Forrest, who's on the right touchline. Chalk on his boots as he gets going at the full-back. Douglas does well to make the block, and then sends the ball in field to Nicky Clark, who's harried and hassled by Benny Beningame. Back to Douglas, inside to Sprangler. Clark. Douglas has it once again. And St Johnstone made to work to get out of their own area. Sanders goes right to find Dre Wright. Forward by Wright down this right hand side, met by Kai Rouse. Here's Shankland into Boateng. Hearts can get going with Forrest if Boateng can find him. Now Forrest, just off the edge of the St Johnstone penalty area, rolls it out to Oyegoke. Back in field to Boateng. Now Spittal into Forrest, back to Spittal, edge of the 18. It's tight from Hearts, but they still have possession with Lawrence Shankland, who drills the ball towards goal. It's blocked. Hearts still have possession. There's been a goal, and Paisley will cross in a few moments' time. A penalty, and Paisley, will cross in a few moments' time as Penrice picks up possession down this left-hand side. Now Jan Danda looking to skipping off the left touchline. Back to Rawls. Hearts still in possession, trying to force their way through. Now it's Boateng out to Oyegoke. Hearts working it nicely, looking for an end product. They lead by a goal to 0. There's Jan Danda, looping cross towards the back post, towards Shankland. It's headed behind for the corner. Let's now head to Paisley. Stephen Craigging is watching St Mirren against Ross County.
Well, you're right on time, Ian, because it was a penalty kick. It was a foul by Eli Campbell on Marcus Fraser. Penalty was given after a VAR check, and Greg Kilty stepped up and missed the penalty kick. There's now a delay because the goalkeeper may have come off his line. He hasn't. Still 0-0.
Thank you, Stephen. Hearts have a corner. Spittle down near side will take it. Sends the ball in towards the back post, this time met by the gloves of Ross Sinclair, who clutches the ball out of the air, takes it down to the ground and takes some pressure off the home side.
Yeah, and I think they need a little bit of a breather. Some of the Hearts play, I think it's been terrific, the possession play. You just mentioned it, it's just can they get that end product, to get, another goal, puts them 2-0 up, and put them really in the driving seat. But no, it's some real good play from Hearts so far.
Away through for St Johnstone. Kyle Cameron takes over as he chests the ball on the halfway line. Now Douglas. Jason Holt has it. Back to Douglas, and now Jack Sanders. They'll have to start again, the Saints. They trail by a goal to 0. Douglas knocks the ball down the left hand side. Midway through the Hearts half is Kimpioka. Now Sprangler. Holt, nice once touch football, but no way through once again, and Sprangler will have to rethink St Johnstone's advance. Back to Sanders, just inside their own half is Cameron, out to Douglas on the left hand side, watched all the way by Alan Forrest. Now Jason Holt into the feet of Nicky Clark. Hearts pretty much with everyone behind the ball at the moment, as out it comes to Graham Carey. Carey forward to Sidibe, who gets away from Kai Rouse, and he has to do a lot better just inside the 18-yard box, and he's pretty much one-on-one almost, Craig Gordon, and fires wide.
Yeah, you just wonder, excuse me, if he could have drove in there. Initially it's a mistake by Rose, he dives in, Sidibe just turns him. I think he can go another 2-3 yards in there, but if he's going to have that strike, which he tries, he's got to go across the goals, because he's got his striking partner Kimpioka there coming in at that back post area, but elects to go near post. I just think he gets it all wrong. I'm not sure if he lost his footing a little bit. Maybe I'm trying to be a little bit kind to him, but that's a big opportunity that St Johnstone have passed up.
Another goal at the Falkirk Stadium. Falkirk against Greenock Morton. Jane Lewis can tell us more.
Yeah, it's come for the home side. They now lead Morton by 2-0 here. It was a brilliant ball in for Calvin Miller. He can deliver a ball, I'll tell you what, that boy. And it was inch perfect again for Ethan Ross, whose diving header was actually lovely to watch. It was almost like in slow motion. And his goal, his 4th goal of the season, has put Falkirk 2-0 up in this one. Falkirk 2-0 up and looking really, really good.
Thank you, Jane. Top of the table, Falkirk looking to take full advantage after a couple of slip-ups this week for Livingston midweek, and in Ayr United, of course, last night as well. St Johnstone have a free kick.
Yep, Chris Graham, the referee, he seems in a good mood today, because normally that would have been a booking. So Davey just rolls, should I say. But it's a tug at the shirt, you know. It's certainly a booking. I tell you what, that's what I think St Johnstone have got to do better. They've got to isolate those two, Kimpioka and Sidibe, you know, 1v1, because I think they've got the beating of the two centre backs, Kent and Rhodes.
Graham Kerry will take this one. It's down the St Johnstone right hand side. He's just been told to take the ball back a few more yards, and Hearts will have to adjust their back line.
And this is what they've struggled today. Struggled free kicks into the box. It's going to go deep into the box, so we'll see how Hearts deal with it.
In from Carey. Lawrence Shankland on the edge of his penalty area, heads away as Dre Wright sends the ball back out to Carey down this right hand side. He's up against Jan Danda, and the cross from Carey was a poor one, and behind for the goal kick.
No, it was never set for it. You know, he does a little step over, takes the ball out his right hand side. You've got to try and wrap your foot round the ball. He was never set. He should have checked out and went again. I played a simple pass, but you know, they play some eye-catching stuff as well. Do St Johnstone. It's been a good game of football to watch, but you just feel that Hearts, if they're going to take all 3 points here today, they need a second at least, because this St Johnstone side will create opportunities.
Carey puts his foot on the ball and knocks it back to Sanders, and the centre half in turn finds Cameron. Now out to Douglas, back with Cameron midway through his own half, and he rolls the ball back inside to Sanders, who looks up and sends the ball in the air for Adama Sidibe to chase over towards the byline, marshalled all the way by Kai Rawls. St Johnstone still have it with Sprangler. Knocked in field from Carey. Now Cameron. Been a good couple of moments or so for St Johnstone possession wise, as Douglas tries to poke the ball through. He's done so, and he's found Benjamin Kimpioka into the 18-yard box. He's well marshalled though by Benny Benengame. Still St Johnstone have it. Now Holt, 25 yards from goal, looks up, out to Carey, who'll take on Penrice. Hangs up the cross this time, away by the head of Kai Rolls. And Hearts eventually win possession back and can break. Spittle sends the ball out towards Jan Danda, who uses all his intelligence just to knock the ball off the kneecap of Sanders. Out for a throw-in, and Daniel Oyegoke has worked his way into the referee's notebook. Chris Graham stopped play and walked over and flashed him yellow.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I think even the player, you know, has his hands out. I didn't see anything in that.
Well, there was a challenge earlier in the last few moments or so that Chris Graham had waved on, but Oyegoke picks up the game's first yellow card. We've got just over 4 minutes of the first half remaining here. Hearts lead by a goal to nil on Sports Sound BBC Radio Scotland, and across the frequencies this afternoon, and online and at BBC Sounds. And it's the first of 2 live football commentaries for you this afternoon. We're off to Hampden at 5:30 for Celtic versus Aberdeen. It's on FM, online and BBC Sounds. And then the first of the autumn tests, as Scotland take on Fiji, is on medium wave, online and BBC Radio Scotland Extra on BBC Sounds.
Doesn't take too much for big centre halves to go down in this day and age. Yeah, if there was slightest of touches, Kimpioka on Kent, he goes down like a sack of potatoes, but they get the free kick, they get it forward, and now they've got they've got a chance. They've got a corner kick away over on the right hand side, so opportunity again to try and get this second before half time.
Yeah, Hearts scored from one of their corner kicks in the first half already. James Penrice on the far side takes delivery, swings it in towards the 6-yard box, and Alan Forrest will recycle the move down this near side. He's got Sidibe for company, and it comes from Forrest all the way up to the head of Kai Rose, who out-jumped his centre forward and captain Shankland as Sinclair goes to ground. And I think the supporters on the far side, they're a bit unhappy about the goalkeeper, you know, almost like it was a move that when St Johnstone, if we're 1-0 up, he would take the ball to ground and try and waste some time, but they're in a bit of a hurry here, and they want to get back into the game.
A strange one that, but I tell you what I love there, just Forrest down this left hand side, just 1v1. Yeah, he's taking on Sidibe, he's a centre forward, but there's no better sight in football when you see wingers, you know, try to get to that byline and putting in a cross. That's exactly what he did. You know, it's a wonderful cross right in between the sticks, so he's begging for somebody to go and attack that, you know, with real aggression. Whoa, that's a tackle. That's more like it.
Wrangler has caught Benny Beningame right on the halfway line. It was a good old-fashioned tackle.
And do you want to know what's brilliant? Look at Beningame. Now, he'd been out for the best part of a year, you know, with a bad injury. He takes that's a bit of a thud there. He just gets himself up. He's not rolling about. Yeah, Spranger probably, does deserve the yellow card, but I tell you what, you're just two guys, very competitive. I love the reaction of Beningame. Doesn't make a meal out of it. Just gets himself up, dusts himself down, ready to go. Is that not refreshing?
Yeah, absolutely. It is. Great. Benny Beningame, you're right, just got straight back up and jogged his way into position, and Sprangler took his punishment as well. It was a high challenge, almost wrapped his leg round the waist of Benny Beningame as Hearts have the free kick just a yard or so in the St Johnstone half. Penrice has made his way to take this one. Left-footed delivery towards the edge of the box, taken down by the chest of Graham Kerry and volleyed clear away down the left-hand side, only to give possession back to Hearts with a throw-in. A minute of the first 45 left, and Hearts lead by 1-0. Oyegoke told to move back a few yards with the throw-in into the feet of Spittle, forward by Oyegoke, and the head of Barry Douglas sends the ball forward as Kim Pioka slips on the surface. Kent sends the ball forward to Lawrence Shankland, who eventually gets a ricochet of the ball, but the Hearts attack thwarted by Graham Kerry. Cameron puts Douglas under pressure in the left back position, and Douglas in turn puts his goalkeeper under pressure with the ball back to him, and Ross Sinclair had to be alert as the ball was, with pace, fired at him, and he took a touch with the right boot and eventually made the clearance.
There's a few oohs and ahs from the home support there. You know, you've got to admire St Johnstone, you know, try to play out from the back, and I think it's just, is it maybe a cultural thing that we're not quite used to seeing that type of football too often. So
heart and mouth stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
In fact, Hearts go back the way, and it's a short back pass towards Kai Rolls, and he caught Adama Sidibe late, and the yellow card from Chris Graham flashed high in the sky towards the Australian centre half. It was a really, it was a dreadful challenge, to be fair, and again we just talked about a couple of back passes here, so slack with the pass back to Rolls, and it's a sore one for Adama Sidibe.
Yeah, he's at the stretch, he's trying to nick the ball past Rolls, and as he's on the stretch, you know, there's no way he can protect himself, and that's where Rolls, when he comes in, you know, he's pretty aggressive, so he could have done damage if he wanted to, so I don't think he did. I don't think there was any intent. I just think he wanted to stop the player. So he just wanted to stop the player first and foremost. I don't think there was any intent to damage the player, but sometimes, you know, they can turn out a little bit nasty, those types of challenges.
1 minute of additional time, and well, the referee was consulted by VAR. Brian McLaughlin is pitch side for us. Brian, you've had a look at this.
Yeah, I've had a look at it, and it's a very high challenge on the right knee of Sidibe. The only thing I think that saves Kyrell's is it doesn't look as if there's too much force on it, and that's possibly the reason that they've decided to stick with the on-field position decision, and that was a yellow card.
Cheers, Brian. This will be the last action of the first half. It's a Johnstone free kick as Gray Wright looks up, sends the ball towards the back post, in comes the header, and it's James Penrice, who didn't know an awful lot about it, headed the ball back the way, and Sidibe caught it at the byline, and he's given possession right back to Hearts for the throw-in, and right on cue is the half-time whistle from Chris Graham. A fairly lively, action-packed first 45 minutes, both sides, plenty of intent, plenty of possession and plenty of endeavour, but one goal to separate the teams at the interval. It came on 23 minutes. Blair Spittle with the corner down the near side for Hearts, sent in towards the near post. Ross Sinclair, the St Johnstone goalie, came out to punch it away to safety, but Nicky Clark unfortunately got a nick on it, enough to send the ball beyond his own goalkeeper. That's the difference between the two sides at the interval. Half time here at McDiarmid Park. St Johnstone 0, Hearts 1.
On digital radio,
FM,
online at BBC Sports Scotland,
your smart speaker,
and on BBC Sounds.
This is Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute.
2024 presidential election ahead.
Join Americast on the road to the US election.
It's the BBC podcast full of lively chats about politics
and social media investigations.
Expert insights this way.
We'll guide you through all the key moments as the United States chooses which direction to go in next.
Final destination, the White House.
Navigate your way to Election Day and beyond.
Americast.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. A really busy day ahead. We have our first commentary reached half-time there. St Johnstone 0, Hearts 1. We'll cross to Paisley shortly. We'll also get an update from the game in the Championship. The leaders, Falkirk, up against Morton. And don't forget, 5:30 we cross to the National Stadium for the first of the League Cup semi-final. Should be an absolute belter. Celtic against Aberdeen. We'll cross there shortly. Going to get Derek Ferguson's thoughts in a few minutes' time. His boy Lewis has just made the comeback from injury. He's come on for a second-half substitute for Bologna. We'll get Derek's thoughts on that in a few minutes' time. I'll give you all the half-time scores. But first stop, Paisley, St Mirren against Ross County. Let's hear from Stephen Craigan.
Kenny, I'd love to come on here and eulogise about this game and talk about the quality that's been shown. All I can say is thank goodness Tom English is not watching this game, because Tom may for once be proved right. It's really lacked quality, but I think it's probably lacked a little bit of quality because the players look fatigued. And I know people will say, how can they be fatigued? St Mirren have had 3 high-intensity, this was the 3rd game in 6 days, and Ross County have had three games in 7 days, and they look fatigued. They're misplaced passes, or slacking possession, lacking any kind of inspiration. There's no imagination in the play, a lot of direct balls. Jordan White is fighting and scrapping for his team, Ross County, to try and get the ball under control, and there's 3 centre-halves surrounding him. Olasanya's trying to do the same for St Mirren, but with little success. So there's been no standout player, there's been no kind of linked-up play cohesion. The big moment came just after the half-hour mark when the home side St Mirren were awarded a penalty kick. It was an in-swinging corner from Scott Tanzer. Marcus Fraser went for the ball, was never going to get it, but for some unknown reason Eli Campbell decided to tug his jersey. And what I find strange about these decisions is he pulls his jersey back and Marcus Fraser falls forward. Anyway, referee said at the start of the season penalty kicks were going to be given for this. Don Robertson was invited over to have a look at the screen, didn't hesitate, give a penalty kick. Up stepped Greg Kiltie. He's missed an awful lot of football over the past 5 or 6 months. He's got himself back into good form. He was obviously feeling confident. He stepped up, smashed the ball down the middle of the goal, and Ross Laidlaw's legs managed to keep it out, which probably summed up the first half. As for Ross County, the best chance they had was only a few moments later. Good play down the right hand side, and eventually led to a cross from the right hand side into the path of Jordan White, but somehow he managed to scoop it over the crossbar. So I'd imagine both managers will have words to say. Whether they make changes, I'm not so sure, but there needs a little bit of pace, a little bit of energy brought into the game. and unsurprisingly here in Paisley at half-time it's St Mirren 0, Ross County 0.
Yeah, just to back up what Stephen's saying there in terms of fatigue, actually quite a tired looking penalty from Kilty there, a good save from the keeper, but it was straight down the middle. Let's then get into the championship. The leaders Falkirk are home to Morton. Let's hear from Jane Lewis.
Falkirk 2, Morton 0. Falkirk looking really, really good in this one. They're well in control thanks to two well-taken headers, actually. The first one was from a free kick. It was Calvin Miller. His ball was absolutely inch perfect for Keelan Adams, who headed in with some power. Falkirk were then thwarted by one or two really, really good chances, but the Morton goalkeeper, Lewis Bodanowskis, really made a couple of brilliant saves from Aidan Nisbet and then from the very busy Calvin Miller. I've been really impressed with him, I have to say. But then the Morton goalkeeper had absolutely no chance with the effort from Ethan Ross, who another player who's had a brilliant game here in this first half. Miller's ball in again was lovely again, and Ross's diving header, this time it was pretty delicate, but it was low and it was really well placed, meaning that Morton goalkeeper really had no chance. Morton had the odd foray forward, but no real threat, and Nicky Hogarth had a couple of saves to make, but pretty easy saves, some pretty tame shots, to be honest with you. As I say, Falkirk looking really, really good in this one, Kenny. They play some lovely stuff here. They play out from the back, and then they get it to the middle of the park, and then they get it forward with ease and with pace as well. Lovely stuff from them, well in control. The leaders leading here 2-0.
Thanks to Jane Lewis. Looking at the live table, 6 points clear of Livingston at the top of the table. So the half-time score: St Johnstone 0, Hearts 1, St Mirren 0, Ross County 0. In the championship, Airdrie 0, Hamilton Accies 2, Dunfermline 0, Partick Thistle 0. As Jane was telling us, Falkirk 2, Morton 0, Livingston 0, Queen's Park 0 in League One. Full-time score, it kicked off at 2 o'clock. Cove Rangers are on a terrific run, 3-0 victors this afternoon away at Dumbarton. Half-time, Alloa 3, Annan Athletic 0, Arbroath 1, Stenhouse Muir 0, Inverness Cally Thistle 1, Kelty Hearts 1, Queen of the South 1, Montrose 0. In League 2, Clyde 1, Bonnyrigg Rose 1, East Fife 1, Stirling Albion 1, Edinburgh City 1, Forfar Athletic 0, Elgin City 1, Stranraer 0, Peterhead 1, Spartans 1. In England, the lunchtime kick-off finished Newcastle United 1, Arsenal 0, Bournemouth 1, Manchester City 0, that's a half-time. Ipswich 0, Leicester City 0, Liverpool 0, Brighton 1, Nottingham Forest 1, West Ham United 0, West Ham United down to 10 men, Southampton 0, Everton 0. 5:30 kick-off, Wolves at home to Crystal Palace. At 5:30 on BBC Radio Scotland, you will hear full commentary of the first of the League Cup semi-finals. What a game this promises to be at the National Stadium. Celtic against Aberdeen. Our commentary team there will be Pat Bonner, Willie Miller and Liam McLeod. Good afternoon to you, Liam. We've given so many games the big build-up in recent weeks, and so far they have all delivered.
You love a big build-up, Kenny.
Love it.
For sure. Yeah, and look, and so you should. This is a fabulous spectacle. The weekend League Cup semi-finals, same in the Scottish Cup. It's one of the highlights of the season, no doubt about it. The Aberdeen players and their management team are down there just getting a first look at the pitch, having just arrived 5 or so minutes ago. Still waiting to see any sign of any Celtic coaching staff or players yet. But yeah, I mean, this has got the makings of being another absolute cracker between these two. We saw one 2 weeks ago in the league, 2 each at Celtic Park across the city from here, and obviously the Scottish Cup semi-final here last season, 3-3, Aberdeen scoring late in 90 and late in extra time to take it to penalties. Of course, Celtic prevailed to continue this unbeaten run against Aberdeen, which stands at 26 games. It's by far the longest wait for an Aberdeen victory in this fixture, but you can't say Aberdeen are coming into this, or you can't say they would be able to come into this game in any better form. It's their best start to a league season ever. Their manager's made the best start of any previous Aberdeen manager. As we know, it's been well documented, so they come into this off the back of that win over Rangers and all these other victories. The only one they didn't win was at Celtic Park, so they're here to give Celtic a test today. But this is a Celtic side, and this has kind of gone under the radar a little bit, Kenny, because of Aberdeen's exploits and the troubles at Rangers. Is Celtic are also on 28 points in the league from their first 10 games. It's their best start to a league season since Brendan Rodgers' first one in 2016. They did it under Maley in 1906, under Steen in 66, and 4 times under O'Neill in 2000, 01, 03 and 04. Only 7 previous league seasons in Celtic's entire history match the one they've put together so far this term. So both sides come into this in just magnificent form. And yeah, I mean, there are many out there I read today who feel that the winner of this competition will come from this semi-final today. Can Aberdeen beat Celtic here for the first time since 1992 when they did so in the League Cup semi-finals? Ian Jess scored the goal. They've played Celtic here 11 times since then, 9 times in cup competition, 2 in the league when Celtic were playing here when Celtic Park was being refurbished in 94-95, and they've had 1 draw in the league game. Of course, it was a draw in the Scottish Cup semi-final, but they lose the tie. So they're looking to create more history. But if one thing we've learned from Jimmy Tellene at Aberdeen so far is that he's partial to creating some history. They're breaking all kinds of records just now, and again, it underlines just how superb a start it's been from them. But these are 2 white-hot sides right now at the National Stadium for a place in the League Cup final. Celtic against Aberdeen's a 5:30 kickoff, sold out as well, under the lights.
Yeah, can't wait. As ever, fantastic stats there from Liam. Fantastic commentary to come, 5:30. Liam alongside Pat Bonner and Willie Miller. Leanne Crichton alongside me in the studio. We had a chat about this one earlier, Leanne. You just think this is going to be very, very tight this evening?
Yeah, I do, and that's down to Aberdeen and their brilliant start to the season, as Liam has quite rightly echoed and mentioned all the stats to back that up. And Celtic, we know the form that they've produced. They probably towards the tail end of last season really started to motor under Brendan Rodgers. I still think looking at them this season, even domestically, they've probably got another couple of levels to get to. Even when you look at the goals across the team just now, there's nobody that's, you know, an out-and-out top scorer for them that you would expect. It's not Ida, it's not Kyogo in terms of goals and contributions. They're not blowing the rest of the league away. I think the fact is it's more a team performance you see from Celtic. Goals from all over the pitch. There's not really been one individual that's kind of caught the attention throughout the performances. Even going without the likes of Callum McGregor, you know, a couple injuries in and out the team, the likes of Greg Taylor, a couple injuries in and out the team. They've had to find solutions to that as well. A number of new faces that have come in, I think will still continue to get better. And the likes of Kuhn, as we had spoke about last season, weren't too sure where he would fit and how he would fit into the side, but he probably has been one of the more stronger performers this season. So I think this game tonight is going to have absolutely everything. As I mentioned earlier on, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes all the way down to extra time and penalties, because I think, yes, we know what we'll get from Celtic. We understand the record, the impeccable record that Brendan Rodgers has got at Hampden, what the cup competitions have meant to Celtic over the last number of years. But no doubt about it that Jimmy Tellene will have a game plan this afternoon. His Aberdeen players will be as fired up for this as they have been for any game this season. I think they'll have the bit between their teeth. They'll be desperate to show. You talk about being tested, and Tom English, obviously that was a theme for a number of weeks. Had they been tested, and every challenge that came their way, they managed to find an answer, and they've still been able to do that. I think the test at Celtic Park really showed that, going 2 goals down to come back and get something from that game. They could have went on and won it, to then beat Rangers at Pittodrie as well, and have to kind of work hard for that, especially missing the penalty and having the opportunity to really stretch the lead at the point in the game. I just think I've seen so much character and resilience from Aberdeen, as well as being a really good side filled with talented individuals. So it's going to be a cracker, and I'm a bit jealous actually that Liam's going to sit there and get to enjoy it. I
wish I was there, and I have to say, just you mentioned the comeback at Celtic Park, to have that attitude to come out and get back into the game, not just to show up and not give away, not be the end of a hiding. Fantastic. It's been a great story. We have all loved it. Even Tom English, he is now converted, I can tell you that. We'll have more on that later on. I've got a funny wee clip to play to Willie Miller later. Derek Ferguson is at McDermott Park for us. Derek, I've got the live score app on my phone, and on that you can pick your favourites, and one of the first team actually that comes up as soon as I go onto it, Bologna. I just love watching Scottish guys doing really well abroad. 1-0 home victory over Lecce just in the past couple of minutes. Your boy coming onto the park in 82 minutes. It's tremendous, isn't it? It's been quite a journey, and we saw the videos a few weeks ago, Derek.
Did you see he's on the park?
Yeah, come on.
Right, by the way, see my family.
You're last to know.
They barred me for Bologna. I don't know if you know that.
No, I didn't.
Plus, I think my family have just pied me. They don't want to.
You've been removed for the WhatsApp group, Derek, if you've not seen anything.
I've texted. They're just a half time and I've got absolutely nothing. So thanks a lot, the Ferguson family. Me.
Come on in the 82nd minute, and Orsolini scored the only goal of the game on 85. Fantastic.
Magic, brilliant stuff. So I'm just happy that he's back. A little bit sooner than I thought. So probably this is the best place for me, so that I don't know what's happening. So I tell you what, but Kenny, this has been a great game of football.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed this.
Yeah.
St Johnstone I've enjoyed as well. But, do you know something? That's crazy I'm going to say this. I think at times they play a little bit too much football. See when you've got Sidibe, Kimpioko up top, get the ball forward a little bit quicker. But Hearts have been good as well. Some great passes of play. We down Scottish football, and but these are two good footballing sides, and I think we'll get a few more goals as well this afternoon.
Well, let's hope so. I can see some changes have been made there at half-time. Reminder, Celtic against Aberdeen in the League Cup semi-final kicks off at 5:30. Right now, though, our focus is once again on league action. Stephen Craig will bring us all the news from Paisley. St Mirren up against Ross County. Jane Lewis is at Falkirk's match with Morton. But let's get back to St Johnstone against Hearts with Derek Ferguson and Ian Auld.
Thank you, Kenny. Welcome back to McDermott Park. The teams are out. We're ready to start the second half. Let's first of all go pitchside. Brian McLaughlin has news of a change for the Saints.
Yeah, one change made by Simo Valakari, and it's in goals. Ross Sinclair, the goalkeeper, has been replaced by Josh Ray, who went through a fairly rigorous workout in the half-time break. Not sure it was an injury or something else, but yeah, Ross Sinclair's off and Josh Ray is on.
Thank you, Brian. No doubt we'll get the thoughts of Simo Valakari afterwards. Didn't look to be an injury to the goalie as he came off. We did note that he obviously had a few issues in the first half, but Josh Ray on nonetheless for St Johnstone, someone who was dropped late August for Ross Sinclair after defeat at Dundee United, and he's just got his first touch of the afternoon, sending the ball forward on the St Johnstone right hand side. St Johnstone will go right to left in the second half in all blue and white, and Hearts will go left to right in their maroon and white. No changes for Hearts at the break, as Kai Rouse heads on midway through his own half, chested down by Jan Danda, and with the right heel just flicks the ball into the path of Malachi Boateng, plays the 1-2 to Danda. Now Shanklin unable to get the ball past Sven Sprangler, and St Johnstone have with Carey on the right hand side. First time ball forward to Adama Sidibe, and it goes to the Hearts penalty box, and Jason Holt is the target, but Penrice does enough to see the ball. He was eventually bumped at the byline, but he did enough to give his side the goal kick.
Yeah, again a little bit different from the first half. We were so used to St Johnstone, looking to play, through the lines, that slow build up, but no, getting the ball forward a little bit more quickly. Maybe starting to ask a question of that Hearts defence, who have struggled a little bit this afternoon with balls, long balls put over the top, and also corner kicks, free kicks, just struggled a little bit. So maybe it's something that the manager, St Johnstone managers, looked at and thought, we'll not maybe play as much, but we'll get it forward and try and put them under pressure, see how they handle it.
So 2 minutes of the second half. Hearts lead by a goal to nil for that Nicky Clark own goal. Here's Jason Holt dribbling his way into the Hearts half. Links up with Kimpioka. Clark out to Holt, into the box he goes. He gets a ricochet off Frankie Kent, and Holt goes for goal, and it comes back off the woodwork. He had Craig Gordon beat, but luckily for Hearts it came back off the crossbar.
It's great football from St Johnstone down this left hand side, and Cole gets himself into the box, right foot, curls it, thought it was going to nest on the top corner.
Here's Nicky Clark, gets away from Rose in the penalty box, and it's Beningame backtracking and knocks the ball out of play on the far side for a throw, and right in at the corner flag, and just underneath the St Johnstone Ultras section.
It's good stuff, Ian, because they're mixing their game up. That little chance they made there, you know, it was good football, but they're a little bit more direct as well. So just mixing it up, keep Hearts thinking, but really good start to the second half from St Johnstone.
Here's Douglas on the halfway line. Into Holt. Back with Douglas. Looked like a coming together between Douglas and Sprangler, almost gifting Hearts possession, but still St Johnstone have it. It's Douglas in the centre-back position. And St Johnstone look to advance through Nicky Clark, trying to thread the ball through to Sidibe. Hearts get it clear as Forrest has it just inside his own half. Now Shankland thighs the ball back to Oyekoki in the right back area. That's how to play for a St Johnstone throw-in, taken quickly by Holt. And a really bit of a couple of mistakes creeping into the game there, because Holt took the throw in, Kimpioka then knocked it back out for a Hearts.
Do you know, I think what they've been told, Ian, is to quicken up their play, and I think they've just done it a little bit too quickly there, you know, for their own liking. But I'm just looking at Shankland today, you know. Shankland's a terrific football player. He just looks a little bit out of sorts at the moment. You know, yeah, he's missed that chance early doors in the game. You just wonder if that is having an effect on his confidence.
Douglas, ball over the top for Carey, who hits the byline. He was in behind Frankie Kent, and he whipped the ball back across, but no takers in blue and white. Here come the men in maroon and white with Spittle. There's been a goal in the Championship. We'll hear from Jane in a few moments' time. We'll stay with Daniel Oyekoki down this right-hand side, up to Forrest. Again, jocking the boots as Forrest heads in field, up to the edge of the St Johnstone 18-yard box. Left-footed delivery towards the back post. Jan Danda unable to get the better of Dre Wright. Still Hearts have it with Frankie Kent on the halfway line. Out to Penrice. Up to Danda. Danda, wonderful ball forward. Lawrence Shankland's in behind the back line. Does well to get away from Jack Sanders, but Jack Sanders recovers well, and St Johnstone can clear, and we can head to Falkirk and hear from Jane.
Yeah, Falkirk now leading this one by 4-0 against Morton. Boy, have they started this second half absolutely on fire. The first goal came from a penalty. It was Brad Spencer who converted from 12 yards after Gary Oliver was brought down in the box, and it was Gary Oliver himself who then scored the fourth goal as well. Lovely finish, running on to the ball, finishing off from just inside the area. Falkirk absolutely running right here. This could be anything. Well in control, and they lead by 4-0.
Thank you, Jane. Falkirk on fire at home to Greenock Morton this afternoon. St Johnstone have possession with Sidibe over on the far side. He's well watched by Kai Rouse, who forces the attacker to go back in support of Carey. Carey chips it into Dre Wright, and he fizzes one along the ground. Well, Dre Wright had acres of space, about 25 yards out, and his shot was a team one, and Hearts have the goal kick. 51 minutes on the clock. Hearts leading by 1-0. Back to Jane. More goals in Falkirk.
Yeah, more goals. I said there was more coming. I hate to do the old I told you so, but I told you so. Falkirk have been absolutely pushing. They really have in this one, and they have scored their fifth goal. Calvin Miller, what a game he is having. 2 assists, and he scored as well with just sneaking the ball in to the far post there. Brilliant from Falkirk. Well and truly in control now, if they weren't already. 5-0 here.
Falkirk 5 goals to the good in the Championship. Still the only goal of the 2 Premiership games so far this afternoon has come here in Perth, and it's Nicky Clark's own goal which gives Hearts a 1-0 lead. 0-0 in Paisley.
Yeah, Ian Shankland just picking up a booking. He doesn't look happy out there whatsoever. As I said earlier, well, moments ago, he just looks out of sorts, and just his body language at the time just doesn't look as if he's enjoying himself. It's a silly challenge as well, getting a yellow card, just not needed, so you just wonder what his kind of state of mind is at the moment. I mean, he is the leader, he is the captain, but he's certainly not leading by example at the moment.
St Johnstone with a throw-in. Barry Douglas, the home side, have certainly responded well after the break, striking the crossbar through Graham Carey. And Hearts look a shadow of their first half selves as Cameron has possession on the halfway line into Sprangler. Now Holt further forward up to Kimpioka, who's trying to dance his way past Beningame and Kent. Hearts win it back, and Boateng sets Spittle off on a challenge, and Spittle just tries to find Danda down the left-hand side, too much on it, and it's back to Josh Ray, the St Johnstone sub-goalie, who replaced Ross Sinclair at the interval. Now Jack Sanders has it. Out to the far side for Carey. St Johnstone have the poorest home record so far in the Premiership this season, only one win to the name. That was against Ross County a few weeks ago, a 3-0 victory with Kimpioka's brace and Mackenzie Kirk completing a fine afternoon for the Saints. But when you compare that to Hearts, who've only picked up 1 point so far on their travels, that was last Sunday in the derby. At the moment, they're heading for all three as Barry Douglas has possession down this near side. Cuts back inside to find Kyle Cameron, who's under pressure from Benny Beningame, and Cameron with a wild cross, left-footed cross, and it's not gone out of play. Eventually kept in at the byline by Graham Carey. Back to Dre Wright. Dre Wright has Jan Danda standing in front of him. He looks to evade him and goes out towards the right-hand side. In comes a cross, and it's tipped beyond and tipped away by Craig Gordon. Graham Carey with the delivery. It could have gone anywhere, but thankfully for Hearts and Craig Gordon, it's behind for the corner.
It's an absolutely brilliant save, but I tell you what, Hearts second half, they're a yard or two off it, but Dre Wright, you know, cutting in from that left-hand side, right-hand side, sorry, plenty of pace, whip on the ball, it's just slice of touches, it's just going to nestle inside the right-hand post, but Craig Gordon, what a save.
Graham Carey, left-footed delivery down this near side, away by Oyekoke, hit towards goal by Sidibe, and it struck a maroon jersey, and St Johnstone will get another bite of the cherry, this time on the far side.
And this is where they've not dealt with balls into the box whatsoever today, so again another opportunity for St Johnstone. But I tell you what, the manager down there, he's scratching his head. You know, he's got to G those players up, those Hearts players, because at the moment, you know, they're trying to protect that 1-goal lead.
Carey with the cross, gone near post. Shankland is there to head away. Spittle picks up the scraps and forces the ball forward to Jan Danda, who skips away from Douglas. Danda crosses the halfway line, he's got Shankland inside of him. Malachi Boateng screaming for the ball down this right-hand side. Boateng. Oyekoke on the overlap, and across comes Kyle Cameron. It's too easy for St Johnstone, and it's not behind even for the throw-in. News of Hearts subs, Brian McLaughlin.
Yeah, Neil Critchley not happy at all with what he's seen in the opening 10 minutes of the second half, and number 20 Jan Danda, his time is up and he's going to be replaced by number 77 Kenneth Vargas, and Cammy Devlin's also coming on and he'll be replacing Malachi Boateng, so a little bit of a change, probably a tweaking system as well, with Vargas going up top. But yeah, a couple of subs made, Devlin and Vargas on with Danda and Boateng coming off.
Thanks, Brian. Derek, your thoughts on those two subs?
Yeah, well, I've just spoken about the captain earlier. You know, it's hard enough, you know, being up top, but doing it yourself, I think he struggled all afternoon, so I think he'll be delighted that he's got the running power of Vargas up top. Boateng, I thought he's been absolutely brilliant this afternoon, I've got to be honest with you, so it must be an issue with a tiredness, a little niggle or something, because I think Boateng and Beningame playing as those two sitting players middle of the park, I thought they'd been different class, to be honest with you. So but Devlin could do that same job as well.
Here comes St Johnstone, it's a long ball forward. Sidibe's in behind Kai Rawls, and he wins a free kick. And I tell you what, Kai Rawls is on a yellow card here, and Chris Graham is jogging across, and he's pointed to the free kick, but now he's just taking a few moments, taking a few steps backwards from St Johnstone.
I don't think it is a card, you know, there is a coming together. It is a foul, but every foul isn't a yellow card. But what I liked was, again, St Johnstone mixing up their play. You know, it's a long ball over the top, asking the question, and they concede a free kick in a dangerous area. So it's again, you know, a chance for St Johnstone to put a ball in, which Hearts haven't been dealing with well this afternoon. But I just like that they're mixing up their play, St Johnstone.
Yeah, this one is not too far away from the edge of the
I don't know what you think. I don't think that's a yellow card. You know, it's a coming together, so it is a foul. He's impeded him, but not a card for me. But they'll be screaming for it. I would.
Well,
I was
the St Johnstone players were quickly across to Chris Graham, weren't they?
Of course, and that's what you do. You try to put a little bit of pressure on the referee to see if he'll crack a little bit, you know. So
that free kick is right on the edge of the Hearts technical area. Graham Carey, who can hit a free kick as well, he's walked away from the scene, and it will be Barry Douglas who will take this one. It'll be a left-footed delivery. You'd expect this one will go in towards the back post. The big men are forward, Sanders and Cameron towards the back post. Kimpioka and Sidibe lurking. In comes across all the way towards Cameron, who flicks the ball back across the face, but it's into the side netting and a relief for Hearts.
Yeah, just a little bit too much in the free kick. I prefer when it's just whipped towards that front post area. You know, I think when you try to hit that back post area, you've got to be so accurate. So I think if you're aiming more so front post to middle area, you know, you've got a little bit of leeway in terms of your accuracy. So I think that's a little bit of a missed opportunity for St Johnstone.
Throw into the home side, taken quickly by Douglas. Back in Scottish football for the first time since 2013, when he left Dundee United for Poland. Very successful on his travels as well. Won the championship with Leeds and Wolves, won titles with Lech Poznan, and also won a Turkish Cup as well. He's back in his native country at the age of 35. Here he is now, plays the 1-2 with Jason Holt. Holt on the halfway line, just using all his touches to get away from 2 or 3 Hearts players. Now Holt once again involved down this near side, drifting towards the Hearts penalty box. Clark out to right, on the far side is Carey, chops back on the left, goes for goal, and it's a looping shot held by Craig Gordon.
It's not a bad effort, but I think when you're trying to beat Craig Gordon from 35 yards out, I think there's only going to be one outcome. I think you just keep a little bit more possession of the ball and look for that final cross, you know, even maybe try and get to the byline. Can you get a cross that's coming back where players can go and attack? But at the moment it's St Johnstone, you know, that are asking the question, are looking really threatening.
Oh, in the midfield, caught by Holt.
That's a yellow.
And the yellow card is out from Chris Graham. And
it's Beningame again.
The St Johnstone man is in Chris Graham's notepad.
He's took some punishment this afternoon for a sitting midfielder, his Beningame. Holt really late there, you know, so thankfully again Beningame, you know, gets himself up on his foot, on his feet.
Well, he's just bending over, touching his toes, no doubt. Yeah, he'll be bruised and battered. Need a long hot bath after this one, that's for sure.
Oh no, it's no hot baths now, Ian. It's ice baths, which I wouldn't fancy.
Ben Rice with the delivery, dead centre in the middle of the St Johnstone half. It's headed away by the Saints, helped back into the box. Kai Rouse tries to send it into the 6-yard area, and it's behind for the Hearts corner, and Blair Spittle is across to take it. Hearts first in the second half. They caused havoc in the first half with corners. Let's see what St Johnstone can do here.
They certainly did, and I think Hearts need a little bit of a breather as well, because they've been under the cosh for the most part.
In from Spittle, it's gone near post. Vargas was there, stuck out a leg, but not enough to get any contact on it. But Hearts will have a throw-in, with St Johnstone getting their lines cleared. 61 minutes on the clock. St Johnstone 0, Hearts 1 on Sports Sound BBC Radio Scotland, FM, medium wave, DEB, online and on BBC Sounds this afternoon. And we're across to Hampden at 5:30 for Celtic versus Aberdeen. And also at Hampden tomorrow for Motherwell versus Rangers in the League Cup semi-finals.
You can see Hearts are way off it in terms of the speed of play that they had in the first half. Even going to take throw-ins, free kicks, everything slowed down. I hope they're not trying to settle for a 1-0 win, because if you're going to do that, I think you're asking for trouble. I think they really need to try and go and get this second goal if they're going to win this game. If they don't, you could see an equaliser, because they're playing some decent stuff. St Johnstone, they're getting themselves forward and they're creating chances.
Here's Douglas down this left hand side. St Johnstone seeing plenty of the ball in this second half. Out to Kerry on the right hand side, always looking to get the ball on his left boot. James Penrice knocks it away from the St Johnstone wide man and concedes the corner.
Just a little bit more zip about St Johnstone, a little bit the way they're forcing the play, mixing their game up pretty well, and they've won a number of corner kicks in this second half. And if Hearts keep conceding these corner kicks, there's going to be one time that they're going to
and it comes from Kerry. It's a wee coming together. By Rouse knocks it away. Adama Sidibe still has possession for St Johnstone. In goes Blair Spittle just inside the Hearts penalty box and knocks it behind for the corner. And you did see a wee coming together.
Yeah, there was a wee. It was Devlin. I'm not sure who. Well, I just saw the blue jersey, but it looked as if there was a little bit of a block there, which in this day and age is deemed as a foul. So I think they will check it. They'll have a good look at it.
Yeah, the referee has been encouraged to stop the game while VAR intervene and have a look at that exchange in the penalty box.
Yeah, it's just obstructing the player. It's when you blatantly obstruct, the run. So that's why it just caught my eye. I was watching it and I thought, sometimes those are given, and the referee are obviously waiting on the VAR decision. They're having a right good look at it.
Yeah, the referee still waiting for the advice from the VAR team. Brian McLaughlin is pitchside for us. Brian, have you had a look at this one?
I have, yeah. There was a coming together between Kyle Cameron and Cameron Devlin, but to be honest with you, I didn't think there was too much in it, and I don't think this will be a penalty. But they're still checking. That's the only contact I've seen inside the box between Devlin and Kyle Cameron. But I'd be very surprised if this was going to be a penalty. But VAR is still looking.
Yeah, Chris Graham has got the finger to the ear, still getting some guidance from the VAR team. Leanne Crichton is also in the studio for us. Leanne, what do you make of this one?
Yeah, I mean, similar to what Brian said, a coming together. For me, Devlin looks as if he loses his footing, and that's then when he kind of fouls it and brings Cameron down. So I'm going to say that the referee's going to look at this and view it as a penalty, because he's impeded the attacker from fully going and attacking the ball. Interesting. I can see him running over at the monitors just now, but as I say, it's Devlin. It's just his footing goes as he looks to change direction. Both players have kind of come together initially, and as Devlin's on the ground, he kind of looks to me as if he takes away the feet of Cameron, but we'll see what he says.
Yeah, Chris Graham, thanks Leanne, is across at the moment having a look at the VAR screen. The VAR team have advised that he has a closer look at the incident. Well, Derek, you certainly spotted it when that corner came in. You called it straight away.
Yeah, just when I was about to describe it, what was happening in terms of the corner kick. I just saw the little block and I thought, I don't. You used to get away with little things like that, but in this day and age, when you've got VAR, they scrutinise everything, so you put yourself under real pressure. But that's taking a hell of a time.
Is on the field just now, and he's pointed at the penalty spot. St Johnstone with a real chance to get back on level terms here.
But Ian's another indication of how Hearts haven't dealt with balls into the box, and there's another case. They seem frightened when any ball is going in there, and I think that's what. And we know Devlin, he isn't the biggest, so you've sometimes got to get your body in there. But when you blatantly block, or else we're hearing Leanne, which she's describing, that a foot comes out, you're putting yourself at risk of conceding a penalty kick, and they have. And probably they're on a play in the second half. St Johnstone deserve this little break. It's whether they can make the most of it, because they've still got to beat a certain Craig Gordon in goals.
Nicky Clark is the man who will take the spot kick for St Johnstone. The St Johnstone captain up against the Scotland #1 Craig Gordon. Referee Chris Graham just sorting out the players on the edge of the penalty box, and up steps Nicky Clark on the referee's say-so. Nicky Clark from 12 yards up against Craig Gordon. Clark beats Craig Gordon, and St Johnstone are back in this one. It's one apiece at McDermott Park.
It's a terrific penalty kick, and the reason being there was a lot of time obviously with VAR when they make the decision. And again, when you're going up against a guy of the calibre of Craig Gordon, you've got to make sure you hit it accurately, but you hit it more importantly as well with real power, and he certainly did that. And I think that's what St Johnstone deserved, because I don't know why, I don't know the reasons, but Hearts have not been at it in the second half. I think they've been a yard off the pace, they've tried to slow things down, they've made the changes, but they're so far they're struggling. And we've still got about 22 minutes to play. The home side, they've got their tails up, they're playing well, all to play for.
Nicky Clark, the St Johnstone captain, with his 4th goal of the season, rallying his troops in the middle of the park. He's also become the first St Johnstone player in 4 games against Hearts to score against the Jambos. Jamie Murphy, the last St Johnstone player to do so back in December 2022. One apiece then in Perth.
I played with his old man. His old man's an entirely different player. Sandy was robust, really physical. Still, get his fair share of goals, a goal scorer. But Nicky's a little bit more cultured. Hope he's not listening to this. Better technically. But no, it's nice to see Clark's family doing well.
Well, Sandy Clark's up against Hearts' B team today for Albion Rovers as the cross is swung into the box for Hearts. The ricochet will follow the ball. James Penrice! And James Penrice controlled it on the left and shot with the right, and it was a looping shot which ended up in the back of the stand behind Josh Ray's goal. Yeah,
it's a decent touch, but he's always he's just a little bit off balance, leaning back, and he just snatches at it, and it was always going to go way over the top. But they need something, Hearts. They need to, whether it's possession of the ball, whether they start creating a few opportunities, but they need something.
Well, St Johnstone have their tails up, that's for sure. Adama Sidibe fouls Benny Beningame, and Hearts will get going here. Knocks it forward towards Lauren Shanklin, the edge of the 18. Lauren Shanklin takes a touch, tries the shot. St Johnstone get the bodies round them to make the block.
But it's better from Hearts because, they win the free kick, and they take it quickly, and then it's a quick pass to Shanklin. Shanklin's in, he should pull the trigger, he doesn't, and I think that's why when you're low in confidence, you're trying to steady yourself, you're trying to make sure you're going to get good contact in the ball, but by this time you've got defenders bearing down on you, so you've got to hit it a little bit quicker.
Here's Vargas into Forrest, heavy touch from Forrest, back to Vargas, edge of the St Johnstone box. Vargas still trying to shoot towards goal, but St Johnstone stay firm and get the blocks in. Now Spittle into Shanklin, back to Vargas, just on the edge of the box, no way through for Kenneth Vargas, out to Spittle. Penrice snaps the ball towards goal, but once again St Johnstone get the block in, and this has been better from Hearts in the response to the St Johnstone goal, but St Johnstone are resolute at the moment.
Well, it's clear to see, and when they speed their play up, it's so much better. They've been so lethargic for the most part in the second half. They brought their own downfall on them because of that, slow, lethargic. When they speed their play up, do everything quickly, you look at different side. Hearts
for the throw-in. All the way back to Rolls, and then Kent out to Oyegoki down this right hand side. In that stoppage of play, Kyle Cameron, the St Johnstone centre half, just appealing for a bit of calmness as Josh Ray almost sails one short to Sven Sprangler, but it's Sprangler who emerges with the ball, and on the right hand side St Johnstone have it, worked back in field to Carey. Forced back to the right back, Roy Wright. Now Sanders and Cameron. And down to Barry Douglas down this left hand side. Holt on the halfway line. As Forrest tries to put the pressure on Douglas. Cameron infield to Sanders. 18 minutes remaining on BBC Radio Scotland Sports Sound. St Johnstone 1, Hearts 1. Here's Benny Beningame. Forward to Devlin. Too slack from Hearts, and Cameron wins the ball back for St Johnstone, and Nicky Clark has it now, and he can get his side going. He takes a step back the way, actually, under pressure from Devlin. And now Barry Douglas has it.
I think he should have went forward with that, Nicky Clark. I thought there was a lot of grass for Sidibe and Kimpioko to run into. You know, I think he should have went over the top with that ball, but elected, you know, Nicky, just to keep possession of the ball. I just think that little opportunities like that, they don't come up that often. So you just you roll the dice, you take your chance, and you know, you choose not to.
Here's Frankie Kent, midway through his own half, looking at his options further forward, playing the short pass to the Cammy Devlin before turning and knocking the ball back to his goalkeeper Craig Gordon, who was under a bit of pressure there from Kimpioka. Nice footwork from the Hearts goalie to get away from him. And now Oyegoki down this right hand side. Well, he hit the deck. Hearts wanted a free kick, play on, says the referee, and now St Johnstone might get some joy here. Holt coming in off the St Johnstone left hand side, blocked by Cammy Devlin, and Cammy Devlin wins the free kick and wants the ball off Jason Holt. A bit of coming together there.
No, I don't see anything wrong with that. It's just Devlin, Holt, you know, fighting for the ball. You know, don't see why that, you know, are coming together. Our contact's not always a foul, and it certainly wasn't there.
Kai Rawls goes long, Lawrence Shankland's in behind, and that's a wonderful challenge from Jack Sanders. In fact, the offside flag is up on Lawrence Shankland. Long ball. We talked about mixing up a little bit. Rawls did that.
Yeah, but I think when the ball bounces, normally a confident Shankland has a strike. I think today he's just looking for that extra touch, and that comes with a lack of confidence. He's trying to steady himself to make sure he gets a shot off, but you know, when Shankland's on fire at the top of his game, it's instinctive. He just hits, and he's not done that today.
Over an hour away from kick-off at Hampden, the National Stadium. Celtic take on Aberdeen in the first of the semi-finals. Liam McLeod has the team news for us.
Yeah, Martin. Yeah. So I'll rattle through this very quickly then. We have got the Celtic team: Schmeichel in goal, Johnston, Carter, Vickers, Trusty and Baye at the back. Back to full strength actually are Celtic: Engels, McGregor and Hatate across the middle, with Kuhn and Maid up there with Kyogo. Aberdeen, it's the same team that started against Rangers the other night. Mitov in goal, Devlin, Rubetic, Malloy and McKenzie, Nielsen and Shinnie, Keskinen, McGrann, Duke and Sockler leads the line.
Thank you, Liam. All set for hopefully another classic. Aberdeen and Celtic met a few weeks ago, 2 each at Celtic Park. Aberdeen fresh from beating Rangers on Wednesday. They'll be fully confident heading to Glasgow, no doubt, for that one in less than an hour's time. Still 1 each here at McDermott Park on Sports Sound, BBC Radio Scotland. St Johnstone 1, Hearts 1. Here's Rouse for Hearts into Penrice. And out it goes to the left back, Penrice once again. Now Benny Beningame can get going, bursts his way through. Still Benny Beningame. He's up to the edge of the St Johnstone 18. Plays the ball into Kenneth Vargas.
It's wonderful.
And Kenneth Vargas has Hearts in front. And it's all about the ball from Benny Beningame. He dribbled his way through, beat a couple of St Johnstone players, teed up Kenneth Vargas, and the Costa Rican fires Hearts back in front.
Listen, I want to clap that Beningame. I tell you what, this afternoon he's took a couple of hammerings in terms of some of the tackles on him, but that bit of play in the middle of the park, that was absolutely sensational. He's 45 yards away from goal, 3 St Johnstone players round about him. He dribbles one way, goes the other, a little change of pace, you think he's going to hit it, then he's still got the calmness to find that little pass. And I tell you what's brilliant, because that little pass, you've still got to take care of it, and he does. Finds Vargas, he just slams it into the back of the net. Brilliant for Vargas, but Beningame, brilliant midfield play, sensational, love that.
Second Premiership goal of the season for Kenneth Vargas. And yeah, you're right. I mean, Kenneth Vargas does well to score from close range, but the set-up play from Benny Beningame, close control, the dribble, just burst his way through, beat a couple of players, terrific from Beningame, and Vargas with the finish. Hearts lead by 2-1
Ian, she's a midfield player, you know, and you come to games and you love to see individuals producing, you know, a little bit of magic. Normally it's the wingers or the front men, but Birmingham's been excellent today in that sitting midfield role. But he's just produced an absolute bit of, it's class, absolute class. I loved that. So I'll be talking about that later on tonight, no doubt.
Well, what can the St Johnstone response be? Although Jason Holt is caught in possession by Elgi Goki, who makes his way down this right-hand side. Infield it goes to Vargas. Now Forrest working his way to the edge of the St Johnstone penalty box. Puts the ball between the legs of Kyle Cameron. But out goes Josh Ray to claim on the 6-yard box. So goals aplenty here. Last time we spoke to Stephen Craig and St Mirren missed a penalty. Stephen, what's the latest in Paisley?
Well, it's still 0-0, unfortunately, and both managers have rolled the dice. They've made the changes, they've brought on forward players, have injected energy into the game, but it's still lacking that little bit of quality, that little bit of finesse and flair in the final third. We're almost into the last 10 minutes. Can someone grab a win? Ross County haven't won here since 2015. St Mirren would love to make it back-to-back wins, but it's 0-0 with 12 minutes to go.
Thanks, Stephen. Goalless in Paisley. Here in Perth, St Johnstone 1, Hearts 2. As Tammy Devlin and Sven Sprangler go into a challenge. They both get on their feet and both go into another challenge, and Tammy Devlin comes away with a free kick.
Again, I love that. It's a tussle in the middle of the park. Two boys, you know, going toe to toe, giving it absolute everything, showing that desire, that passion. You know, just trying to win a 50-50 ball. So, you know, sometimes we applaud. We were talking about earlier there, just moments ago, Beningame, absolutely magical bit of play. But then sometimes you need that in your team as well. You've got to admire that desire to win.
Simo Valakari is going to freshen things up for the home side. He made one change at the interval, replacing his goalie, Adana Sidibe, and the goal scorer Nicky Clark are heading off. And on comes Matt Smith and a former Hearts man, Mackenzie Kirk. He came up through the youth ranks at Hearts before making the switch to St Johnstone in the summer. Only one top team appearance to his name. Mackenzie Kirk was in a 1-1 draw at Ross County back in April 2022. But he's certainly shown in the opening couple of months of his St Johnstone career that he's capable of finding the back of the net. Here's Shankland. Back out to Forrest. Hearts deep in St Johnstone territory. In from Forrest. Straight into the gloves though of Josh Ray. 10 minutes of the 90 left. Hearts lead by 2-1. And it's maybe a bit unfair on St Johnstone in the second half, because they bossed things early in the second half, got their deserved equaliser, and might have got a goal earlier when Graham Carey hit the crossbar as well. They've been probably the better side in the second half. Yeah,
you just sometimes wonder the mindset of the players, because they were certainly, I'm talking from a Hearts perspective, they're certainly playing within themselves. And when St Johnstone, you know, get the penalty, Clark puts it away, you just see the difference, the reaction. So where was that? Why not produce that right from the off? You know, the start of the second half, try and put the game to bed. But it just shows you that's the beauty of football. You know, sometimes you think we'll just protect the lead, we'll just do enough. But I think you're inviting teams onto you, players onto you that can cause a little bit of damage. So the reaction's been absolutely brilliant. The goal, I absolutely love that goal. So I do. But now it's up to St Johnstone. Can they salvage something out of this game? I think they can. I think they've got enough about them. Made a couple of changes now, so we'll see the reaction of Hearts. Will they go for a third, really kill it off, or will they settle for, you know, winning 2-1?
Forrest with the lovely switching pass from just inside his own half, looking for Spittle on the left hand side. St Johnstone have possession back. We're into the final 8 and a bit minutes, plus stoppage time of course as well. We had a bit of a lengthy stoppage for the St Johnstone penalty. It's Nicky Clark beat Craig Gordon from 12 yards. Nicky Clark, unfortunately for him, gave Hearts the opener with his own goal. And then Kenneth Vargas a few moments ago ensuring the Hearts supporters away to our left hand side are in full voice at the moment. The happier of the two sets of supporters. But I don't know about you, Derek, but will the St Johnstone fans be a wee bit, yes, disappointed to be 2-1 behind, but from what they've seen from a Simo Valakari side, be a bit happy?
Yeah, I think that you can see the difference in their play. He certainly gave the players belief, that they can play a type of football that maybe the St Johnstone fans have not been used to over the course of the last number of years. So they're very pleasing on the eye, but at the end of the day, it's about getting results. So if they can salvage something from this game, I think that's the important thing. We love to see good football, but we love to see, as a player, getting victories, getting results, because they need to climb this table. But it's been a really entertaining game, open game. So you've got to tip your cap to both sides.
The Hearts have a player down at the moment. Kenneth Vargas, just a few yards off the 18-yard line. Took a sore one with a St Johnstone cross on the far side as we enter the final 6.5 minutes. And both managers in their dugout, no doubt probably just going through some final instructions with their backroom staff. In fact, Neil Critchley's just emerged from his dugout with the substitution as well. George Grant looks like he is about to enter the field of play, the Hearts number 7, as he's back to us as we occupy our seats high up in the main stand. And here comes the Hearts sub, and it's Lawrence Shankland who is heading off, and George Grant is the man who's coming on, and the captain's armband goes onto the left arm of Craig Gordon. Of course, Hearts have a busy schedule coming up as Lawrence Shankland exchanges a handshake with his manager. European action on Thursday night with the Bundesliga side Heidenheim arriving in Gorgie, a game you can hear live on BBC Radio Scotland. St Johnstone have a throw-in. It's a long throw-in as well, launched all the way into the Hearts 18-yard box from the far right-hand side, away by Spittle. Douglas helps it on, and it bounces all the way into the gloves of Craig Gordon. And we can go to the Falkirk Stadium now. More goal. Well, we've already had a heap of goals, a barrel load of goals from Jane Lewis, but more action. Yeah, additional goals here. Morton have been hit for 6, quite literally. That's now Falkirk 6, Morton 0. Brad Spencer grabbing his second goal of the afternoon. It's been such a dominant display from the Bairns. It really has. John McGlynn has had the opportunity to make changes, but it has not altered their pace, their energy and their intensity. They've been brilliant. Brad Spencer now making it 6-0 against Morton. Quite an incredible scoreline, but Falkirk have been so impressive in the championship this season. Here at McDiarmid Park, St Johnstone with the free kick just inside their own half.
I think today St Johnstone and Hearts, they've showed how technically the good they are, but when it comes to this time of the game, it's all about desire, sometimes fitness. Who wants it more? So Hearts are in the driving seat, obviously, 2-1 up. But I think it would be foolish if they sit back and invite St Johnstone onto them, because I think they're very capable. So it's about that drive and determination from St Johnstone. Can they somehow, salvage a point from this game today? Which they probably, if you think about it over the course, yeah, they probably deserve it.
Kirk for the home side, just at the touchline just below us, keeping the ball in play. Son of first team coach Andy Kirk, a former Hearts striker as well. And it's the home side with possession with just over 3 minutes of the 90 left. Cameron down this left hand side to find Douglas. A first start for him in St Johnstone colours, made his debut in Paisley on Wednesday. And they go for Kimpioka down this left hand side, but Frankie Kent marshals the ball behind for the throw-in. Douglas forward to take, just about in line with the Hearts 18-yard box, rolls the ball into the path of Cameron. Back out to Douglas. He's got acres of space to deliver the cross, but it's a deep cross plucked out of the air by Hearts goalie Craig Gordon.
Yeah, it was always needed to kind of wrap his foot round it a little bit, you know. Just played it well into that 6-yard box, and it's a simple catch for Craig Gordon.
Gordon blasts the ball forward, gets plenty of length on the goal kick. Helped on in the St Johnstone semicircle by Cammy Devlin. A few challenges starting to fly in late on in this one. Well, to be fair, they've been flying in all afternoon. There's been a few wholesome challenges, shall we say.
And it's not been dirty whatsoever.
No.
I love that. I love the desire. I love the passion. And both sides have played some good football this afternoon. So, you know, a couple of good goals as well. So it's been very entertaining. But you know, from a St Johnstone perspective, you would think if they don't get something out of this game, they'll be so disappointed. But overall, their general play, they've been a good watch.
Smith from this left-hand side. Infield it comes to Kimpioka. Back to Douglas. And the left back with the left foot searches and finds Saunders just along the halfway line. Carey robbed by Spittle. Spittle sends the ball forward. Vargas is in behind. Kenneth Vargas with a chance for his second. Saved by the goalie. And it's back to George Grant, who gets the ball under control and waits for support in maroon.
What a pass that is from Spittle. It's absolutely brilliant. It's away out on the left hand side, the touchline, and he just curls it, bends it away down that left hand side. Vargas is on to it in a flash. He gets away from his marker, kind of toe poke. I'm not sure if it looked like a toe poke. It's a brilliant reaction save from the keeper, but brilliant ball from Spittle.
First real thing that Josh Ray's had to do in this since coming on at half time, other than picking the ball out of his net for Kenneth Vargas, putting Hearts back in front as Frankie Kent goes in search of Penrice down that left hand side. It's a deep ball and it's St Johnstone who clear only as far as Kai Rawls. He wins a throw in for his side as we enter the last 30 seconds of normal time. The fourth official has the board in hand, and just no doubt giving a reassurance to the Hearts manager Neil Critchley, who he's locked in conversation with about how much time will be added on. He has the board in his hand. Duncan Williams thrown for Hearts up that left hand side for Grant, kept in play by Sanders. Spittle heads on to Forrest. He'll go and search down this right hand side. He's got plenty of room to run into Grant. 7 minutes of additional time will be added on in this one, as Forrest links up with Devlin. Devlin tries to force the ball through for Forrest. St Johnstone stand firm, and now they can get going with Kimpioka. Crosses the halfway line. He's got support out with Dre Wright on the right hand side. Wright takes a touch, takes aim, sends the ball in towards Holt, who's lurking on the edge of the Hearts area. Now Jason Holt has it under control, forced back the way by Hearts to Smith. Douglas down the left hand side for St Johnstone, beats Vargas, comes in field. Strangler thought about going down the right hand side. He takes a touch away from George Grant and comes left. Cameron. Hearts with everyone behind the ball, but Kyle Cameron is running out of ideas and goes back to his goalkeeper, and the home supporters do not like that one bit. Here he is again, Cameron, this time back in his own half. Sanders. St Johnstone regroup. They really had an opportunity to have a go at Hearts there, but there was no way through as Sprangler takes over into the feet of Mackenzie Kirk. To Dre Wright. Out on the right hand touchline is Graham Carey. Back to Sanders. Holt. Is there a late equaliser in Perth as Sanders knocks it out to Wright, but the ball went behind the full-back, kept alive by Carey at the touchline, and St Johnstone just making things a little bit difficult for themselves.
Yeah, they're overplaying at the moment. You know, needs must. They've got 7 minutes of added time, so they're probably into about 5 or 6 now. Sometimes you just need to get that ball forward, look for a little break in the ball, second ball. I just think they're overplaying at the moment because Hearts, you know, are back in, looking very rigid, hard to break down, so sometimes you've just got to go a little bit longer, hoping that you're going to get a little break. But if they keep playing the way they're playing at the moment, Hearts are pretty happy. You know, they're playing in front of them. I think the ball's got to go into the box.
Holt, Kimpioka, still about 30 yards from the Hearts goal as Devlin snaps into the challenge. Full time at the Falkirk Stadium. Falkirk 6, Greenock Morton 0. Falkirk have a 6-point gap over Livingston in second as well. We'll round up all the full-time scores after this one as Douglas picks out Smith down the left-hand side. Looping cross from Matt Smith, the sub. Sprangler tries to keep it alive at the offside flag. I didn't think Matt Smith was offside down the St Johnstone left, and the flag up on the far side. And we've played nearly 93 minutes, 4 minutes of the stoppage time left, and it's St Johnstone 1, Hearts 2.
There's a time and a place to play your football, but not when you're into time added on. Needs must, and needs mean the ball goes into the box. You know, it's just got to go in there. You've got to try and create a little bit of havoc, and you've got to remember today that's where Hearts have struggled a little bit. Balls into the box, so sometimes it doesn't just come from the side, it comes from the players. The players have got to realise that where have Hearts struggled today? Balls into the box, so put it in there. I just think they're overplaying at the moment.
Sanders out to Dre Wright, forces the ball forward. It's a poor first touch from Mackenzie Kirk on the halfway line. He had Benny Beningame for company. St Johnstone still have it with Holt. Shows too much to Devlin and Beningame, but Hearts can't keep it. Holt has it once again for St Johnstone. Takes a touch and sends Mackenzie Kirk scampering away down the right-hand side, and Mackenzie Kirk has done ever so well to win the corner.
Well, that's not a ball out of the box, but it's a longer ball over the top, and they win a corner kick, so now they can put a little bit of pressure on them. And this is where I keep saying it, you know, this is where Hearts have struggled. The keeper's gone up as well, so Hearts got to deal with this.
Here comes the corner from Kerry, swung in towards the penalty box. It's punched away by Craig Gordon, helped away from Vargas. Josh Ray had gone forward to get involved. No one in the St Johnstone goal as Dre Wright has it on the halfway line. If he's tackled here, then George Grant has a shooty in, but Dre Wright does ever so well to pick out Matt Smith in this left-hand side. Josh Ray back in attendance now as the cross comes in from Smith. Hearts get it clear. Beningame helps on. Devlin and Forrest mop up and knock the ball down the line, but it's straight to a blue jersey. Barry Douglas has it.
It's got to go in, because you've got to create a little bit of havoc, a little bit of panic. If you do that, you know, you get opportunities.
Well, Hearts have a free kick just on the edge of their own penalty box, and we're into the final 2 minutes of the additional 7 minutes added on as some St Johnstone supporters start to make their way towards the exits. It's perhaps a point might have been a fair result for both sides. St Johnstone have really, especially in the second half, showed plenty of endeavour. They at one stage had really Hearts. They had Hearts pinned at 1-1. Hearts recovered and got the winner through Kenneth Vargas. Free kick St Johnstone as we eke towards the 7th minute of additional time. Josh Ray out of his goal. He'll take this one. It'll be one blast forward from the former Airdrie goalie as everyone in blue heads into Hearts territory. Forward by Ray, flicked on by Sanders. Frankie Kent, 25 yards from his own goal, sends the ball away to safety. Alan Forrest chasing after it. It's crossed the line, and behind for a St Johnstone throw. We're into the final 60 seconds.
Yeah, the ball needs, again, I'm going to keep saying it's got to go forward. It's not pretty, but sometimes it can be effective.
And Josh Wright sends the ball forward once again. Frankie Kent wins his header. Jason Holt has it for St Johnstone. Just inside the Hearts half is Jack Sanders. Looks up, sends the ball out towards the St Johnstone right for Graham Kerry. Away by Blair Spittle. Dre Wright takes over, sends the ball forward. Edge of the Hearts box is George Grant to head away. Spittle sends Kenneth Vargas away, who's in behind Dre Wright. Kenneth Vargas with a chance to seal the 3 points for Hearts. He's tracked all the way by Sven Sprangler, waits for the support for Blair Spittle, who heads for the corner flag on the far side, and that is the final whistle from Chris Graham. Hearts pick up all 3 points in Perth. They move off the bottom of the Premiership League table in the process. They had to work extremely hard for all those 3 points. Nicky Clark, the St Johnstone captain, unfortunately sent the ball beyond his goalkeeper from a Blair Spittle corner 23 minutes into the contest. St Johnstone changed their goalie at the break as well. We'll find out news about Ross Sinclair in a few moments' time with Brian. But St Johnstone started the second half really well. They hit the crossbar through Jason Holt and deservedly got back on level terms. A collision in the Hearts penalty box meant Nicky Clark got the chance to level up. He beat Craig Gordon from 12 yards. And then just when we looked like it was going to end in a stalemate, Kenneth Vargas, 14 minutes towards the end, put Hearts 2-1 in front, and the goal was created by wonderful play from Benny Beringame, who dribbled his way past a couple of St Johnstone players and teed up the Costa Rican, who fired Hearts to all 3 points here in Perth. It finished St Johnstone 1, Hearts 2.
On digital radio.